Podcast, WATP.
So the reason why Herb Beta Patch sent this to us, because he was watching it live the other night on YouTube, and he sent me this video that says, one watching now started 61 minutes ago. He was the only person watching the show. They have one viewer watching the show. So let's set this up, because this is hosted by Jazz and Lubby.
I don't want to interrupt, Carl, but do you know how many views it's up to now? 5.
Yeah. And 3 of them are us.
Right.
It's insane. So it's definitely not taking off like that reality show. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So Jazz and Lubby, do you think they're a married couple, Pat?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'd hate to think that they were, although I did consider it. It couldn't be.
Okay, so they're going to talk about, the topic of this episode is analysis of motherhood in media. And, Mother's Day is coming up. I thought it'd be a good idea to address how mothers are portrayed in modern media, and that's what they're talking about.
So that's what we're discussing today, portrayal of mothers in media and literature. And then we've got our normal questions on work, life, relationships, parenting, and that's various things. So before we start, we want to welcome our Sacramento audience on KUBU 96.5 FM here in Sacramento, and we want to welcome all the rest of you out there as well. You can send us your questions, comments, and whatnots to love@latenightLove.us.
All right. Serious questions only, people. All right. When you start emailing these fine folks, because they do an entire advice show after this breakdown of motherhood in media, there's a lot of advice being dished out. That's where it gets interesting. And so if you're going to use that email address, serious questions only. Can't stress that enough. All right.
It's really good from the moment. I mean, he does 4.5 minutes. She finally talks, and you're like, "Holy crap! I see why she's not talking."
Well, he's impossible to have a conversation with. He doesn't even know what he's saying. Let me just play this example of that. He's trying to start a conversation, and it's mind-boggling.
Media and mothers have been it's been a love-hate relationship, right? From the evil stepmothers to these mothers who try to have it all, and some succeed, some fail, but it's this modern view of mothers, right, that we see in media, which is interesting because modern media is failing. So it's a question of, does modern media reflect our view of motherhood at the moment, or is it trying to lead our view of motherhood, which is why it's, so we say, struggling.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
The way she's staring at him, it's almost like she's trying to figure out what he's talking about by staring through him.
I was like, what is Gollum thinking right now?
What the fuck was this?
Yeah, she does look perched on something, doesn't she? Like,
yes. I mean, I would react the same way in her defense.
Yes.
If this guy's talking to me, he's just like, blah, 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 bling, bling, blog, bloog, blog, bling. And I'm like, huh?
Is he testing to see if I'm listening?
Yeah. This is on FM radio? Okay.
I mean, he is bad, but she shits on newspaper, no question.
They went around in the cage for this show. All right, so she finally perks up 5 minutes in with this.
Between what movies we'll call a Mary Sue from, Ray of Star Wars, right? You haven't seen the new Star Wars. You don't really.
No, I don't watch the new Star Wars.
Right. Well, a lot of people say she doesn't have the journey.
So, Pat, you watched this entire episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this part of it. This was an interesting part that really just featured Lubby.
Master's my friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
I think we all picked up on the fact that she looks and sounds like Gollum.
It must be an outtake there, yeah.
It's like CGI or something.
This one here, look, there's fewer wrinkles on that face than hers. I mean,
That's true. Not quite as expressive, though, I have to say. So then Jazz goes off. So it goes from Star Wars. He goes off on this tangent about different movies and mothers and movies or something. I don't even know why he brought any of this up. None of it makes any sense. And he also doesn't know why he brought it up.
If you just watch them for 90 minutes of entertainment, they're fine. But if you sit down and try and think through a romance movie, just don't. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent and I forgot what my actual point was. So I guess the question is, does modern media reflect our view of motherhood, our modern view of motherhood, or is it trying to lead our modern view of motherhood? Or is it just as confused as the rest of us are right now? We don't really know what all these things mean, despite the fact that we do.
Okay. No one knows what he's talking about right here, obviously. This guy's a retard. Mm-hmm. So now Lubby has to respond to that. So this is picking up from that exact second where he finishes whatever that was. And this is Lubby's response.
Well, every Mother's Day, the mothers are thanked for what they do. Now, shouldn't that be enough?
Yes. Dynamite point, Lubby.
Yeah. And thanks for coming out of your K-hole to say that. You notice about halfway through what she's saying, he starts looking around for security or something? Or...
Right. There's a weird dynamic between these two. I don't know how they were hired to have a radio show. Neither of them can talk at all.
It's their chemistry.
It must be their chemistry. I'm going to stop talking for 7 seconds, and then maybe you can start talking. Good stuff. I love that take, though. I think we're thanking mothers too much. Once a year? That's ridiculous. What are we doing? They need our praise more often than that? That's not going to happen. Not on my watch. Okay. So now we get past whatever that was, because that goes on for like 10 minutes, and they never make a single point, and no one knows what the fuck they're talking about, including themselves. So then we finally get to the meat of the podcast or the show, and that would be the advice part. People write in questions. And they give you their advice. And I love it because Lubby really perks up when it's time for questions.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. Okay, let's get through the rest of this. All right, so we got relationship questions.
Yes, we do. My husband doesn't want to have to answer to anyone, including me. How do I deal with this?
Well, no one wants to answer to anyone, including him. Including themselves, usually, quite frankly.
Well, that's retarded.
What the fuck does that mean? He's terrible at this. And also, for an advice show, I've seen a lot of these shows. Loveline was a great show, Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. You get a lot more, you have a lot of follow-up questions, right? Like, okay, well, tell me a little bit about this. Like, my husband is stubborn. What should I do? Like, okay, give me an example. Like, how long have you been together? Do you have kids? What's going on? There'd be a lot of things you'd need to know in order to give any type of advice. These guys just go, all right, yeah, I got this one.
Yeah. I mean, my husband doesn't want to answer to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, you're probably annoying.
You. What are you telling him to do? Yeah. And I think his eventual answer here, if I may, I don't know if you get into it.
I do have the answer.
Okay, well, I'll let you know.
Okay, I'll play this because this is the worst possible advice.
When you're 34, 35, have a family, control is illusionary, but you still have to work through that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it may not be good for your relationship long term, but it'd be good for him long term. So there's my suggestion. Get a way to get counseling. A therapist for himself. Because that's what he needs right now. There may be depression issues. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? That's a good point. I love that they're writing into an advice show. What should I do? You should get counseling and see a therapist. Well, let's try to avoid that, actually. That's the whole reason why I'm writing to you, actually.
To you douchebags.
Well, I mean, truthfully, imagine asking these two anything.
Yeah.
Imagine asking them anything. I mean, I can't believe that anybody watches this show and goes, oh yeah, they know.
Yeah, the last thing these two should be doing is giving advice to people.
Yeah, this is the Sarah Silverman principle.
Right. Yes, it's like you're depressed and you're having issues every day. Why are people asking you how to live their lives? It's not good for anyone.
You're barely coherent.
All right, so next question. Let's see what the next question is here.
All right. What is next?
Me and my fiance are at odds because I take my child to the park and I have friends there for once. How do I handle this situation?
He's just not used to it.
I mean, how could you answer that question? I mean, there's no information there at all. I take my kids to the park and I have friends there.
Yeah, who are your friends? Jeff, Samuel, Doug. You know.
Right, yeah. And then they run a train on me. My husband isn't enjoying it. I don't know what's going on. And they attempt to give advice on this shit.
Yeah.
Who's writing in?
It's got to all be jokes or something, right?
Yeah, or
People listening to
or
this?
they think these are good questions and writing to themselves. I mean, there's no way to track that, right?
No, there's definitely no way to track that until WATP listeners start writing in some questions, and then we'll know what's going on.
Well, you know the answer the woman's looking for is, "Girl, you go down there and see your friends. Fuck your husband." You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
She just wants that, and you know.
Yeah, and basically what they say is, well, you know, it's important that you have friends too, and you know, he goes to work all day and he has work friends. Like, they're just making up all these scenarios. You're like, I didn't get any of that from that conversation with that question, but okay, if you say so.
The episode I watched, they break into song.
Shut the fuck up. All right, so here's another question that came in.
Okay. Not mature enough yet. What's next?
Yeah. Me and my ex separated. I had purchased gifts for his family prior to our splitting up. Do I still give them to them?
Well, you can do whatever you feel is right for you.
You can. You can want to, yeah.
You can take them back. You can give them to somebody else.
What kind of advice show is this? Hey, I want to know what I should do with it. Do whatever you want.
Here's some options.
Yeah, I knew that.
Everybody likes gifts, so you know, whatever.
Yeah. Do you like the gifts you bought? Maybe you keep for yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it's a trivial thing to ask for advice about. Too.
Right. Yeah. What's
a good
fucking
problem to
cares? All right. So Lubby reading this question is crazy. This gave off. This is where I pulled the Gollum clip when I watched this. So like, okay, I've seen this before.
All right.
My boyfriend offered me to live with him rent-free after dating for 8 months, and I can't make a decision.
All right, someone's got to ask her a question about something being precious to them.
Well, and someone needs to ask her what she's scratching back there.
Yeah. Or precious.
She can't talk or read. Why is she reading questions on a talk show?
Because she's a looker.
Yeah, it's all about the sex.
Yeah, so shallow.
It's hilarious. Okay. So this should be the answer to every single one of these questions. This really sums it up right here.
There's who knows. With just that information, it's hard for me to say.
Correct. That should be the answer every fucking time. I don't know. The information you gave me, I have no idea what you should do.
My wife is awesome. What do I do?
Marry her. Already did. What else you got? All right. So now we move away from relationship questions and we get into parenting questions. Because I look at these two and I go, probably amazing parents, would be my guess. So here's the first question coming in for parenting advice.
So what do we got?
My 15-year-old daughter wants an iPhone for her 16th birthday. Unfortunately, we can't afford an iPhone, and we tried to explain this to her. However, she is very angry and has stopped speaking to us. What should we do?
You know, this comes up like every 3 or 4 months, doesn't it? Where some kid can't have something they want. It's a recurring theme on this one. And the answer is kind of basically always the same. So let them be mad.
That's the answer?
No, it gets even worse. Listen to what he says after that.
Enjoy the silence if they're not speaking to you.
I think this person wants to have a good relationship with their daughter, and that's why they're saying, look, if we can't afford the iPhone, she's mad at us now.
This is a quandary.
How do I mend this relationship? And he's like, fuck her.
Yeah.
Tell her to fucking kick rocks. Who gives a shit? That's not helpful in any single way. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's plan A. We'll put that in the maybe pile. But
Right.
Let's make a homemade iPhone.
Here's an idea. Get a fucking job. Go to Cricket Wireless or one of these fucking places where you can get an inexpensive smartphone and a plan. Maybe she gets an Android. I don't know.
You're raising kids. You can't afford a phone.
Right. Why did you have children if you can't get them? Now, 15 or 16 is actually very old to be getting an iPhone at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's got to be an outcast. When everyone's talking about the TikTok video, she's like, I've heard of TikTok. That was in the news. My parents were watching the news on TV and they were talking about that. It's like, get the fuck out of here, Wendy. You loser. Yeah. Come back when you have a phone.
Go watch your TV.
My parents are poor. All right. You ready for the worst advice ever? This clip really tickled me.
And if he doesn't want to eat lunch, you give him his daily lunch money in cash. And if he wants to spend it on Twinkies and Snickers, then he's going to be hungry. He'll live. Trust me. Teenage boys can live on Snickers and soda all day long.
He's 6.
Lisa Bigelow, everyone.
This is the dumbest person ever. My kid, he's not eating lunch at school. I need him to have a nice, nutritious lunch. He's first grader. Let him eat fucking Twinkies. Do Twinkies even exist? I don't even know. No. Let him eat Twinkies and Snickers. Good advice.
Yeah, he'll survive.
Yeah, and the reason that for the confusion is the whoever wrote in said he has a card. I'm letting him use a bank card. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Bank card for his lunch at school? What are you talking about?
I wonder if it's
weird.
Yeah, because they were confused about like him having a debit card or something like that. I wonder though if it's just kind of a school card that you use and then you have to pay up at the end of the month or something. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
My parents made me use that because they didn't trust me with cash.
Right.
And for good reason.
Okay. So that makes sense. So that actually existed way back in the 60s. Okay. I didn't realize that.
How dare you?
All right. So here's another fun one. This guy's not even trying anymore with this advice. And I got to say that Lubby is better at this than he is on this one.
Okay. How do I put please don't bring siblings on an invite without sounding rude?
You just put please don't bring siblings on the invite.
No extra guests, please.
Yeah.
How do I tell people not to bring their siblings on a party invite without being rude? Tell them to go fuck themselves. Like, what? I'm trying to not be rude. Did you not get that part of it?
Start to warm up to this guy.
Yeah, he's not really wrong. I mean,
Yeah. Why do you care if you're being rude? These people are assholes.
And fuck your kids.
Whoever wrote in was concerned because there's a specific sibling that they don't like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right. It probably always shows up uninvited.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy gives the worst advice ever. Just says, just write that on the thing you don't want to write on the invitation because you're worried about doing that. Just do that.
Yeah.
Great.
Who cares?
Let me ask a different show what I should do. Let me ask a different YouTuber what I should be doing with
Golden
this.
hour. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Get counseling.
Yeah. Maybe you should make a video for Brendan Schaub to react to, and then he can tell you what the right etiquette is. I have one more clip on here, and Pat's got some timestamps and stuff that we're going to try to go through. But I saw that you had this one too, because this is so fucking stupid.
My kid's favorite joke is disobedience. He's 3.
Okay. Let's all process that for a second. My kid's favorite joke is disobedience. What kind of fucking question is that? What?
It's not a question.
What does that even mean?
Disobedience can really hit hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's my closer.
It tore my family apart.
Yeah, I never heard of
My
it.
kid's favorite joke.
What's that, Pat?
No, go ahead. I've just never heard of disobedience referred to as a joke.
No, me neither. That's why I was very confused about this. I'm guessing that they're like, hey, clean your room. He's like, no. He's probably cracking himself up.
His parents.
He's trolling his parents. How about you go clean your room, asshole?
Yeah, right.
Pretty good joke.
It's disobedience. He's 3.
He's 3.
Well, yeah, because that's all he's got. He doesn't know enough to have any other joke.
It's hacky, but that's what he's got.
3.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not everyone's gonna grow up to be Dave Chappelle. What do you want?
Yeah. Just wait until he'll grow out of that by 4 and have something completely different. And then at some point, if he's a boy, he'll have fart jokes. So you look forward to that.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, Jesus. That's called a death rattle.
Yeah.
Does anything concern this guy?
Well, the best part about his advice is just like, yeah, so what? So wait for it to stop. Yeah. My husband's been cheating on me with multiple women. All right, well, so what?
Grow a
He'll
pair.
grow out of it. Yeah.
He'll grow out of it.
He'll get sick of fucking her. Just like he got sick of fucking you. So
He's
don't worry
going to
about
sleep good tonight.
By next year, he'll move on to something completely different.
Yeah.
Someone completely different. But
least
yeah, I like that death rattle in there too. It's like, yeah, brought to you by emphysema. The show today.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
So you look forward to that.
Oh, wow, that's deep. That is deep into the bowels.
I need to laugh after. She's like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
finish the cycle.
All right, Pat, we hit a lot of the points here, but what else did you want to discuss?
Now, what this basically is he's talking about, we see the ditch diggers' labor, but there's all the unseen work of mothers.
Ah, yes.
Teachers were doing. But you don't see the work of the mother washing the dishes, cleaning the walls, scrubbing the
That's it.
floors.
Cleaning the walls.
Cleaning the walls. Yeah, that was the
Your
second
mom-
example. What do moms do? Wash dishes, clean walls.
The blood of my victims.
That struck me as weird. Yeah, they're cleaning the wall. His concept of the mother at home scrubbing walls and shit. Weird.
Also, it was a really dumb point he was making there too, because he's going, yeah, moms are unappreciated because we don't see them washing the dishes or doing laundry. He's like, no, that you do.
Yeah.
That's why you know that that's what they do, because you see them do it. What do you
so
mean?
constantly.
What are you talking about?
And a lot of moms, really, including my own, if you don't see them do it, they'll tell you.
Right. They'll make sure you know.
There's 3202, a sleep-trained 2-year-old.
A sleep-trained 2-year-old?
There's a question about, somebody had a question about their sleep-trained 2-year-old.
Sleep-trained 2-year-old refuses to sleep anywhere except her bed.
Oh,
They can't travel.
well, you overtrained.
I just have to say, like, this is a fucking stupid. I mean, again, the kid will sleep. The kid will sleep.
Yeah, they have to. It's impossible not to. What does sleep-trained 2-year-old mean?
A 2-year-old who has been sleep trained. I mean, I remember my sleep training. It was rough, but I got through it.
Yeah. The
I
drill
have no
sergeant's there yelling in your ear, get to sleep, maggots!
Relax.
Yes. Now drop and give me 6 hours.
Put on your nightshirt, maggot.
Sleep
Probably
train.
give me 6 hours. That's great.
I mean, 2-year-olds sleep a lot, I think. I think you have to train them.
Wait till they're 3 and they start thinking disobedience is a joke.
That's where it gets hairy.
There's 5930. This is great. Somebody wrote in as a 39-year-old virgin and wants to know the answer here.
Okay,
I
great.
actually had to add those because I didn't think we were going to with those other
very
questions.
good then.
So we can do our intimate
Okay.
questions if we
All
want.
right, yeah.
Yeah, let's finish.
All right. I'm 39 and I'm finally going to lose my late virginity to my new neighbor tonight.
What was
She's
that?
47.
Mhm.
After I get off work and my anxiety is through the roof. Any suggestions?
Okay, so it says he's 39, so I'm guessing it's a him.
Is it
I mean, you talk about there's so many variables here. But first of all, you're 39, you never had sex, it hasn't worked out. What are the chances your neighbor who just moved in, oh, yes, this is the one?
Yeah.
I mean, what a gift. Yeah, definitely fuck your neighbor.
My advice would be this. You don't have to be anxious. It's not going to happen. The first 39 years didn't happen. Tonight's the same as that.
It's going to be 39 more.
Yeah, right.
Well, it sounds like they have it planned, because
Yeah, it's weird.
So tonight, any suggestions. And his advice is brilliant.
Oh, let me hear it.
5938.
Okay. My advice is come on the tits. That's always my advice. Pull out. come on the tits. But let's see what he says.
Him, yeah.
And he's finally going to lose his virginity to his new neighbor, his 47-year-old female neighbor tonight after the God. Okay, here's the suggestion. Just enjoy it. You might want to let her know.
She knows.
Let her know what? That you're fucking her? Yeah. Yeah, you might want to
She
let her know.
probably knows.
My advice is just enjoy it. Yeah. How should I do sex? I would enjoy it.
Hate every minute. Go out of your way to make it terrible.
Try to get through it. That's kind of how they started their show, too. We're going to try to get through
With
this.
a lot of concentration.
Yep.
And there's no concerns here. No, like, she's next door, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just, I don't know, man. Maybe proceed with, no prophylactic talk, diseases. Who is this 47-year-old who wants to pop your man cherry? Yeah, none of that stuff comes into play. Just enjoy it. It's all good.
She's 47. She'll just take over. She'll be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
You'll be fine. It's the hardest thing is at 39 is going to be you've been anticipating this for
39
30
years.
years, almost 25 years, we'll say.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of buildup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the point of the question, dummy.
Imagine the load. That is a lot of buildup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It blows the back of her head off.
Here's a suggestion. You ever see there's something about Mary? Jerk off first.
Yeah,
all right.
maybe a couple
So you have some
times.
stamina.
Yeah, he's probably got that part down though.
Yeah. Probably, I would imagine. By the way, again, no follow-up questions. This is my biggest problem with the show. If someone asks me for advice, I'm going to fuck my 47-year-old neighbor, what's the cup size? Like, these are important details we need to know before we could even figure out what the answer is. What does she weigh?
Is she 600 pounds?
Right.
And by the way, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a better place to start, Pat. Why are you a 39-year-old virgin? What the fuck happened in your life?
Yeah, are you writing into us just to flex?
Right,
Is this your victory lap?
Guess who's getting laid tonight?
Yeah.
Guess who's got two thumbs?
Tell us before he kisses, even, for Christ's sake. There's a similar wrap-up kind of an answer here to one of the questions that you had. It's 59:58 is what I have.
But I had no idea what I'm doing. Well, have fun exploring.
Yeah, here's the thing. In the modern world, you can literally just go to Bing and ask the AI.
And you can,
answer.
there's some websites.
Dude, this is an advice show and he says Google it? That was his fucking advice?
That's an amazing advice show.
Holy shit. I don't know, man. Look it up. Maybe Wikipedia has an answer. I don't fucking know.
Let me know when you find out.
What are
Please
they
finish his
doing?
bullfrog on the rocks there, so I think he's getting a little loose lip.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just a pink lemonade, but
Well, and Google it is what he said. Go to Bing.
yeah, and use their AI.
Bing AI.
Yeah.
It'll give you an answer.
Everyone knows that Microsoft's really well known for their AI. That'll be very helpful.
Yeah, these guys are really. These guys are gold.
Dude, this is recurring show potential right here. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I don't like to say this often, but
Yeah.
we're on a roll.
We're on a roll right now with finding these idiots.
Yes.
It's incredible. Anything else from this show, Pat?
No, except to say they look like two sides of the same coin, don't they? I mean,
They
really,
do.
They look related somehow. And this is on the radio in Sacramento, from what they said earlier in the show.
Yeah. 96.5. Look at, I keep forgetting her name, Lubby. Of course she's Lubby. She's like passing out by the end of the show, just falling over.
I think the puppeteer just left.
I'll be back. I'm going to go on break, guys. I'll be back in 5.
I got to get back to my coffin.
I got to go smoke a cigarette.
Who are these podcasts?